Hey, it is the Modern Christian Dudes podcast. Dudes talking news, sports, and God. Live streaming. It's going to be a solo episode today. No Funko Pro Greg Walden, just me. Our lives are in utter chaos, all kinds of stuff going on, but figured we would pound out an episode for you today. So always appreciate you guys listening to the Modern Christian Dudes podcast. And as we get back into the fall season, we'll definitely get more consistent as we get into a routine. Listen, my job, my occupation is that of a pastor, and that means my life's crazy. My weeks are fluid. How many of you have an occupation like that? No week is the same, and that's how my life is. So anyway, dudes talking news, sports, and God. Let's talk a little bit what's going on here. Not just dudes, ladies as well. I found this one interesting. I'm going to kick it off with this one right here. We heard about that big Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg fight that might be going down. How many of you are excited for this one? Well, I found an article that says Elon Musk says his potential in-person fight with Mark Zuckerberg would be streamed on his social media site X, formerly known as Twitter. You can see this one. Here's the article right here. What do you guys think about that? Give me your thoughts on that one. How about Twitter changing its name to X? Okay, and so here's what it says. The two tech billionaires seemingly agreed to a cage match face-off in late June. Zuckerberg is actually trained in mixed martial arts, and the CEO of Facebook's parent company Meta posted about completing his first jiu-jitsu tournament earlier this year. Zuck versus Musk will and that's a controversy right there. Is it going to be Musk versus Zuck versus Musk? How would they even, that's going to take serious negotiations. Whose name is going to be first on the billboard, on the poster, will be live streamed on X, Musk wrote in a post on Sunday. All proceeds will go to charity for veterans. Musk said earlier Sunday he was training for the fight by lifting weights. So if you're going to have a cage match, you're going to have to do more than lift weights. Just Elon Musk, you're my guy. I'm going for you, okay? But I don't have time to work out, so I just bring them to work, Musk wrote. Whether or not Musk and Zuckerberg actually make it to the ring in Las Vegas has yet to be seen, especially as Musk often tweets about action prematurely or without following through. But even if their cage match agreement is all a joke, the banter has gained attention. Although this would be by far one of the lamest fights we could ever watch in a cage, I would pay to watch this one. Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk. This would be the fight that would make $1 billion and would be great. So I'm really hoping that it does happen, that Zuck versus Musk will happen at some point, whether it be the UFC, whether it's on Twitter, X, whatever it is. Let's make this happen. And yeah, if it goes to charity, that would be a great thing. What say you guys about that whole fight that's coming up? So Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. All right, bouncing over to another story here. I did have a chance. My wife and kids were gone for a few days. So I did have a lot of stuff to do, but I did bounce over and I did see the movie Mission Impossible, the new Mission Impossible movie. It was interesting. You know, it was better than I thought. So here's the thing for me is that I'm not the hugest of Tom Cruise fans, if you will. Although I have to give it up to Tom Cruise. I mean, he made, oh my God, Top Gun last year was definitely the best movie of last year. So Mission Impossible, I was going to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but my boys were out of town, and I promised them that we're going to go see that one together. So I wanted to see a movie, just kick back, veg out a little bit, because I just wrapped up a master's degree class. So that was my celebration to myself, is to watch Mission Impossible. It was actually really good. So if you like good chase scenes, there's one epic chase scene, fight scene. It was very good. Mission Impossible, it's the 7th movie. This is the breakdown storyline. Ethan Hunt and the IMF team must track down a terrifying new weapon that threatens all of humanity. It falls into the wrong hands. With the control of the future and the fate of the world at stake, a deadly race around the globe begins. Confronted by a mysterious, all-powerful enemy, Ethan is forced to consider that nothing can matter more than the mission, not even the lives of those he cares about. It's kind of starting to spin off on that whole AI. AI is going to take over the world. But it's a recommend. I might give it like a 9 out of 10. And I'm not the biggest of Mission Impossible guys. So great action scenes. And if some of you follow Tom Cruise, he'll say that he does his own action scenes and stuff like that. And so very good action. Good film, good manly, good dude movie. Nothing too crazy or out of control there. No woke. The good thing about Tom Cruise, he's not entering into all of this woke weirdness. So I do appreciate that. And then along the movie scene, this is the movie that I hope just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, is the movie Sound of Freedom. Guys, if you have not seen The Sound of Freedom, you have to go see this movie. It will convict you. It will change your life. It will challenge us. Anybody, whether you're like me, follower of Jesus or not, this movie needs to be seen literally by everyone. Sound of Freedom. Please go support that one. It is more accessible or viewable in other parts of the country than others. But if it's in your area, go see it once, go see it twice. These are the kind of Christian movies, faith-based movies that need to be supported. So check out Sound of Freedom. And again, it's weird to come up with words to describe that movie because you don't want to say good because it is heart-wrenching, convicting, but we all need to go see that one. So please go check out The Sound of Freedom. All right. Well, we don't often talk about women's fashion. We dabble, into the women's fashion here and there occasionally on the Modern Christian Dudes podcast. So what is it? So I'm going to do that now for just a moment. And if you're live streaming, check this out. I mean, the return of the banana clip. What is going on here? Like I'm not the biggest of fashion gurus, but follow the fashion a little bit. Guys, ladies, I'm talking to you ladies. What's up with this? The banana clip is all the rage. The banana clip is taking over the world right now in women's fashion, and this is starting to scare me a little bit. So if you don't know, the banana clips are the latest throwback. And actually, again, we're live streaming, so I can put this up on the screen for you guys. Banana clips are the latest throwback hair accessory to break the internet, popular in the 1980s and 90s. All right. According to TikTok, the U-shaped clip is making a comeback in 2022. The accessory is easy to use, comes in a variety of colors, and makes any hairstyle look effortlessly stylish. So, ladies, good news for you, especially if you're a product of the 80s and 90s. It all comes back around. So you might have some old banana clips. You might have the whole pack of banana clips from the 80s and 90s. You can bust those out. You can get the new ones, whatever it might be. So good news for you, ladies, in terms of fashion. The banana clip is back. It's all in fashion. You're ready to go. So again, whether you got the old banana clips or the new ones, bust them out once again, ladies. It is the return of the banana clip. All right, that's awesome. Okay, I think this is interesting. I am a pastor vocationally. I'm a pastor, a full-time pastor. And so I always love to read stories of other pastors and how they conduct themselves. And I found this one. This is pretty funny here. I'll pull it up for you guys as well if you're watching the live stream. But J.D. Greer rebukes his congregation for arriving at church late and leaving early. Shout out to you, J.D. Greer. I don't always rebuke my congregation, but shout out to you for doing that. Basically, if you read this article, this is at churchleaders.com, is he just has a little postal moment like we always do every once in a while as us pastors, and he just begins to rebuke his congregation. You're leaving, you're arriving late and leaving early. How dare you? You're not spiritual. And he actually, if you listen to the context of the message, it was good. And I think it needs to be said as to pastors. Listen, sometimes you're going to run late. I understand. But if you arrive late and leave earlier all the time, come on, God deserves a little bit better than that. Don't you think, guys and ladies? So it just brings me to the subject today, a little spiritual talk for Modern Christian Dudes podcast, is just to, think about how much time does God get? Is God getting our best time? Are we giving him time? Like, how much should we get? There's not necessarily a Bible verse that points us directly to how much time we have to give Jesus every day and all those kind of things. But I do want to pull up some scriptures here if you're watching the live stream and just read through a few of these. And I just begin, we can always go back to the life of Jesus. He's our example. He's our model. Matthew chapter 11, verse 25, it says, "At that time, Jesus prayed this prayer." Matthew 26, verse 42. "Then Jesus left them a second time and prayed." Mark chapter 14, verse 39. "Then Jesus left them again and prayed the same prayer as before." Luke 6:12. "One day soon afterward, Jesus went up on a mountainside and he prayed to God all night." Okay, so there we see a time for all night. Acts 7:59. "As they stoned him, Stephen prayed." But what you can see from from the life of Jesus is that he made sure that he had time with God every day, and that was a regular part of his spiritual life. So I'll let God deal with you, and God can deal with me, how that needs to happen. But the truth and the reality is for all of us is that we need to spend time with God and not rush through that. And, it's kind of like I was thinking about that, whether it's our mobile devices, here's my iPad sitting over there, my cell phone. One of the things that we have now on our devices, if you really pay attention to it, is screen time. You can look at how much time you've spent on apps, and sometimes it's pretty scary because we're like, holy cow, I spent that much time on my phone and apps and all these kind of things. And, again, we could have one of those if we had God time, if we had the God time app, and we were able to evaluate, whoa, I spent this much time with God. That's awesome. Did I spend time with God? I haven't spent any time with God. So the goal isn't to convict you and, just to be like, you're a horrible person and you're a horrible Christian. And I'm not trying to go, what's this guy's name? I'm not trying to go JD Garrar on you right now per se, but I did find that to be a good thought for us to think about as dudes, ladies, guys, followers of Christ, is not so much like, do I need to spend 24 hours in prayer every single day, which, we might need to do that and have moments to do that. But I think the point is from the life of Christ that we can really take away is, am I making sure that I spend time with God and that it is the priority of my life? So that's what I have to say to you today on this Modern Christian Dudes podcast. Appreciate you guys. Make sure that you keep listening, subscribe, tell someone else about it. Say, hey, there's this great little podcast called Modern Christian Dudes. You should listen to it. I'll talk to you guys next time.